Mike?
Jack,
Mike?
Check.
Check. Is that on?
Roger. You should have said Roger.
Just give it to Rose.
I almost whipped out a airplane quote. That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
That is a good one.
Roger.
What's our vector, Victor? All right.
Shirley.
We are live. Sorry for the delay, folks. I would like to call to order the October 27th, 2020 regular meeting of Columbia Borough Council. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Zink.
Here.
Councilperson Kaufman.
Here.
Councilperson Williams.
Here.
Councilperson Fitzgerald.
Here.
Councilperson Stevens.
Here.
Councilperson Whitner.
Here.
Councilperson Burghardt.
Here.
Mayor Lutz.
All right, we do not have anyone from the ministerium, so please rise for a moment of silent reflection. And Chief, would you like to lead us in a pledge to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Announcement of executive and information sessions. What is written on the agenda is incorrect. So I will announce that today, October 27th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m., council held an information session to receive information only items from its manager and solicitor. Are there any addition? I know number 5. I would like to add number 10D4, which is accepting the resignation, hard resignation of Suzanne Stallings. Does anyone else have anything they would like to add or delete or reorganize?
We're moving the executive session, right?
Yeah, but we'll announce that at the end.
Yeah.
This is announcing the ones that happened since previous. Does anyone else have anything they would like to reorganize? All right. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda with that addition of 10D4?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Councilperson Kaufman, second by Councilperson Lintner, to approve the agenda with the addition of item 10D4. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? And that carries. The next, number 6, citizen comment, non-agenda items only. The sign up we have is Rose Weaver. You're on.
Well, I'm here for 2 reasons. One, to say thank you from last week about coming to the Borough meeting and you guys considering the fence placement with CHI, because that will help me maintain my building better, at least the front and side of it. So thank you for that. And secondly, I was just coming to see if you guys have come to any conclusion or any kind of deliberations about the 4 metered parking spaces, because I hate to keep bringing that up, but because it is such a pertinent deal to my business. That's why I'm here again. I just was wondering if anybody had talked further about this from the last time I was here.
I will tell you, Rose, I am sorry. I had it on my radar and I dropped it off because since it's not formally done, I just sort of, I was waiting to hear if we can do that. I believe we were told we can't just remove parking meters with a vote of council, so I don't know what we have to do to overturn that, if we have to do.
So
it.
Evan and I did look at it. If you want to jump in?
Yeah.
Oh, good,
so
thank you,
we
'cause
did
it
look
fell
at
off my
it,
radar.
and
Yeah.
It was done via a motion. If I remember correctly, it was done via a motion of council, which is generally not the way that things should be done when you're looking at parking, right? There's a parking ordinance that has all of these things laid out where you can and can't park. And so we have got to figure out what we want to do and how exactly that process is going to need to be done to take a look at that. So we'll get a decision at some point from council here, hopefully shortly, and then we'll move forward with how we need to get it done. That's, it is what it is, but I believe, that it probably shouldn't have been done the way that it was done, the last time. That's all I can tell you. And we will figure out what we need to do.
Well, that brings me to my second question relating to that, because the parking across the street is still an issue as well. Because there's a EMS parking spot that never has been used for EMS since it's been given to Family First. Every day you can come there and you could park there. EMS has been to their building one time in the last 2.5 years, and they parked at the corner of 4th and Locust Street. So why that space was given for EMS parking, I guess I understand why, but it's, again, another parking space that was taken away that was once a metered space that could accommodate my building or my shop or the pharmacy or other businesses on that block. So I was just wondering if there's any possibility that could be looked at as well, because I think that was done in the same way. The motion was given, granted, and then those 4 metered spaces were taken away. I'm not here to fight with any of the businesses. I just want us to all get along and it all to be fair. And that's why I keep coming about this, because it's such a limited amount of space on that block. And then the only other question I had, I'm sorry, I only get 5 minutes. The lot that's owned by the borough on the corner, do you know if that's ever going to, or if it is up for sale? Because I had somebody interested in that, came to me, an investor, and I said I would ask tonight when I came to the meeting because I was not sure. But I do know somebody's interested, and again, I know that they would like to change that into a parking lot for my building. That's what the person said. But again, I don't know all the logistics that would, or the legalities that would, have to take place for that to happen, or if the lot's for sale.
So, thank you. We, as part of the parking study that we had done this year, concluded this year, we actually looked at that site for parking. The study didn't favorably look at making that into public parking. So the borough has to decide if they want to sell it, and if we do, and I don't want to speak for council, but I can tell you I have intentions of bringing it forward to council to offer it for sale. If we do that, there's 2 methodologies we can do. We can do it through a sealed bid process, or we can do a public auction. And those are the 2 ways that governments can sell that type of land. So if council doesn't direct me otherwise, I will bring it forward to them to look at offering it for sale. And at that point, we'll make sure everyone who's interested has plenty of time to know about it and can be prepared for that sale.
Okay, thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Minutes for approval. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes for the Borough Council work session from October 6th, 2020? And a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilperson Kaufman, a second by Councilperson Stevens, to approve the minutes for the Borough Council work session for October 6th, 2020. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That carries. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes for the Borough Council meeting from October 13th, 2020?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, mixing it up, we have a motion by Councilperson Stevens, second by Councilperson Kaufman, to approve the meeting minutes for the Borough Council meeting from October 13th, 2020. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Presentation. We'll combine this 8 and 9 together because you're up.
I'm up? Okay. Thank you. I was hoping to, this evening, simply provide an update addressing some of the concerns for election security. Wanted to let council and the community know that Emergency Management Coordinator Jay Barnier and I have been in contact. We've had numerous discussions over the past couple of weeks to prepare the community for any issue for next Tuesday. An operations plan was developed and provided to all police personnel. The plan is based on sound legal advice from the Lancaster County District Attorney's Office. I've also personally spoken to most of the judge of elections for each of the polling locations. We discussed any concerns, and I provided them important contact information for Lancaster County-wide communications. The last point is just some information to pass on behalf of EMC Jay Barninger regarding COVID concerns and the election. Please, number one, wear masks. Social distancing is important. And also hand sanitizer will be provided at each of the polling locations. So be sure to take advantage of that as well. So, does anyone have any questions for me at this time?
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Next, excuse me, for public comment on agenda items, there will be a 3-minute time limit per person per topic. Old business, we have Resolution 20-20, Protocols and Rules for Decorum for Public Meetings. I made the changes that were asked last time, and I added the section, I added a definition for council information session. Does anyone have any other questions or concerns with the changes being made? Could I have a motion to approve this resolution? And a second. I have a motion by Councilperson Kaufman with a second by Councilperson Burgard to approve Resolution 20-20, Protocols and Rules for Decorum for Public Meetings. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? That's good. All right. And then 2021 is the protocols for elected officials conducting borough business. I don't think, yeah, there was a change in here, adding the mayor back in as getting copies of letters and all of that. And I also added a sentence clarifying that the mayor speaks to the media on matters related to the police department, but he doesn't speak for council unless designated as the speaker for council. I wanted to make sure that that was clear, that council speaks for council.
And you would be the council representative?
Yes, or designate.
Yeah. The go-to person.
Yeah. So, does anyone else have any, the other thing I did in this, you can see in the things, there's a lot of, there, and I changed pronouns from his and her to make it neutral. So I replaced his and her with their all throughout the document. If anyone was wondering why that was done. Does anyone else have any questions or comments or concerns on this one?
I think you did a good job.
Thank you, I tried. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
And a second.
Thank you.
I have a motion by Councilperson Williams, a second by Councilperson Kaufman. To approve Resolution 20-21, protocols for elected officials conducting borough business. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? And that's good. Next, we have the Resolution 20-22, authorizing the acceptance of a gift from the estate of Clarissa Wolcott for the Shade Tree Commission. Oh, shoot. I went out of order. I'm supposed to get a motion first and then discuss.
Yeah, okay.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it here. Could I have a motion to approve Resolution 20-22, authorizing acceptance of the gift from the estate of Clarissa Wolcott for the Shade Tree Commission?
So moved.
All right, who wants the motion?
Go ahead, Sharon.
I'll take Sharon. And who wants the second?
Second.
All right, we will have a motion by Councilperson Littner and a second by Councilperson Fitzgerald to approve Resolution 20-22, authorizing acceptance of a gift from the estate of Clarissa M. Wolcott for the Shade Tree Commission. I believe this was talked about before. Who would like to fill us in on that?
Sure, I can. We received communication I believe it was in September, that the estate was being settled, and in the estate, Ms. Wolcott had left a substantial gift to the borough of $45,320.85. And it's a percentage of the remaining funds from the estate, and was divided up among many of the charitable organizations that she believed in. And I just want to say formally on behalf of the borough that this is a huge gift, and we greatly appreciate what she has done for us and for the Shade Tree Commission and for the borough to bequeath this money to us. And the money has been received and has been deposited into a separate bank account that is dedicated for the Shade Tree Commission and will be used to improve the quality of trees here in the borough.
I would like to add that I think it's a fantastic gift, very generous. You know, one of the reasons we moved to the corner of Chestnut and Ninth at the time was because of the many very large, very old oak trees that were on that corner. Since we've lived there in 2006, I believe we've lost 8 or 9 massive trees because of age. They had to go. It's totally changed the appeal of our block, of our corner. Not that it's bad, but it sure was nice with those trees. I'm really excited to have the opportunity for the borough to replace missing trees. We were Tree Town USA how many times in the past?
19 now, I think.
For a reason. We have lots of beautiful trees here, and I think it's fantastic that the generations after us at some point will have big, beautiful trees to appreciate just like we do. Very generous.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to add or for that? All right. With that, we have a motion by Councilperson Littner with a second by Councilperson Fitzgerald.
Chair, yeah, Frank?
Oh, I thought someone was talking. Fitzgerald to approve Resolution 20-22, authorizing acceptance of a gift from the estate of Clarissa M. Walcott for the Shade Tree Commission. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next, we have to do each one individually, correct? Yes. Okay. We need to formally accept the HARB resignations. The talks did not result in the 4 that we have listed agreeing to stay on. So we need to, just as a formality, accept these resignations to, close this chapter and move on. So could I have a motion to accept the resignation of Ted Vidoc?
Second.
I have a motion by Councilperson Brigard, a second by Councilperson Fitzgerald to accept the HARB resignation of Ted Vidoc. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next we have, could I have a motion to accept the HARB resignation of Elaine Beckley?
So moved.
And a second. Motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald, a second by Councilperson Kaufman to accept the HARB resignation of Elaine Beckley. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next, could I have a motion to accept the HARB resignation of Glenn Schaefer?
So moved.
And a second. And we have a motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald, second by Councilperson Brigard to accept the HARB resignation of Glenn Schaefer. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Next, could I have a motion to accept the HARB resignation of Suzanne Stallings? And a second. Motion by Councilperson Brigard, second by Councilperson Kaufman to accept the HARB resignation of Suzanne Stallings. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. New business. I need a motion to consider the appointment of Steve Wise to the LIMC UCC Board of Appeals. And a second.
Second.
A motion by Councilperson Kaufman, a second by Councilperson Lintner, to consider the appointment of Steve Wise to the LIMC UCC Board of Appeals. Want to fill us in on this, Mark?
Sure. So, back in 2004, the LIMC, which stands for the Lancaster Intermunicipal Committee, by agreement of all the partner municipalities, agreed to form an Uniform Construction Code, or UCC, Board of Appeals. The reason that this board was put together on a regional level is twofold. One is that these appeals occur very rarely, and so for each municipality to maintain a board that rarely meets is one thing. Two, often these cases that do move forward seem to work better when the board is a completely neutral body, if you will. The type of appeals that go before this board are any appeal of a requirement of the building code. So this is not a zoning appeal. This is nothing that's directly local in terms of a local ordinance. This is a statewide building code. So if someone is asking for something that has to do with accessibility or lighting or electrical or something that's a code requirement and they want a variant from that strict code application, they can go to this board. This board has heard very few cases over the time that it's been there, but they have heard some, and so they have found to be effective. As a member of the LAMC and as one of the municipalities that has signed on to utilize the LAMC Uniform Construction Code Board, we are to appoint a member. When a case comes up before this board, the chair of the board then selects a panel from those members to hear that case. So there may be 8 or 9 people that have been appointed by different municipalities. 5 will be selected to hear a case at a certain time. So that's how the board works. Steve Wise has agreed to remain as our representative to this board.
And what are the qualifications needed to be on the board?
There are certain qualifications. They want someone in the construction trade. They want someone who's an architect. They want someone who has is a building code official. Those type of people are the people they put on this board.
Thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone have any questions or comments or concerns on that? All right. Next, so I have a motion by Councilperson Kaufman with a second by Councilperson Littner to approve the appointment of Steve Wise to the LIMC UCC Board of Appeals. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next, I have a motion to approve the payment number 7 to Fry Lutz in the amount of $35,734.56.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right. Motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald, second by Councilperson Williams to approve the application for payment number 7 to Fry Lutz in the amount of $35,734.56. Just wanted to point out that the payments that we are approving for the Market House, these will be the last ones until the punch list and the final, until it's all done. So we're at the end of the line just about here. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that payment? All right, with that being said, we have a motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald, a second by Councilperson Williams to approve the application for payment number 7 to Fry Lutz in the amount of $35,734.56. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next, could I have a motion to approve application for payment number 6 to East Coast Contracting in the amount of $153,698.05.
So moved.
And a second. All right, I have a motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald with a second by Councilperson Kaufman to approve application for payment number 6 to East Coast Contracting in the amount of $153,698.05. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, next. Could I have a motion to approve application for payment number 6 to SM Friddy in the amount of $13,320?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald and a second by Councilperson Kaufman to approve application for payment number 6 to SM Friddy in the amount of $13,320. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Next, could I have a motion to consider application for payment number 8 to Shannon S. Smith in the amount of $60,012.45?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilperson Fitzgerald, a second by Councilperson Kaufman to consider application, or to approve application for payment number 8 to Shannon S. Smith in the amount of $12.45. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, good. Cruising right along here, number 12. Presentation and acceptance of reports. Community development, no reports. Finance, Councilperson Stevens.
I'd like to acknowledge we received the finance report for September 2002. 2002?
2002?
Yeah, 2002. What?
All right.
2020.
Whoops.
Whoops.
All right, well, that's good.
Kyle, you didn't put them numbers down. did you?
No, that would not be
I even read that before. I didn't even take notes to it just right now.
I know you read it out loud.
I know, right?
Your brain doesn't recognize that. It's got all the right numbers in it, so.
Right, all right, and nothing else for finance. Nothing for legislation, parks and recreation, Councilperson Williams.
One more time, just want to encourage everyone to come to Locust Street Park on Halloween evening between the hours of 6 and 8 for a Halloween festivities with refreshments, hot dogs, donated by Hinkles, our good friends at Hinkles, and we're really grateful for that. And also remind you that on December 5th in the Market House, which will be finished by then, we will be sponsoring a gingerbread house display. And so to do that, you sit around with your family and bake gingerbread and decorate and bring to the Market House. Well, more details will follow. And it's not a competition, but just a holiday display of creativity of the bakers in Columbia. So more details will follow. That's it.
I got a costume for Saturday. I'm pretty excited.
I'm afraid.
Well, my dog's afraid of it.
Oh, gosh.
And when you see it, you're gonna laugh and think, why would a dog be afraid of it? But she is. All right. Public Works and Property, Councilperson Fitzgerald.
You missed your personnel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoops, I skipped it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was coloring on it.
Okay, I would like to announce that we finally look like we filled the planning and zoning position with Sharon Sino. And Mark, would you like to elaborate on that at all?
Sure. So, as many of you know, we've been on a search to replace Jeff Helm for a long time now. The search actually began before I came on in March. We went on hiatus during the COVID time. We went back through the applications. The application review committee was myself, Kyle Watts, and Commissioner Sharon Lintner. We went through them, we looked at them, we began interviews, and we believe that Sharon is going to be a good fit for our team here. She and her family are moving up from Florida. I second that motion. They are settling here in the Lancaster area. Her spouse is getting a job at Hershey Medical. So they are relocating up here, with both of them now being gainfully employed. And so they will be moving up here just around Thanksgiving time, and Sharon will be starting with us probably the first week of December. Sharon's originally from the New Jersey area, so not far from here. I tried to warn her about the weather, and she's like, no, I got you. So she'll be moving out of South Florida, moving up here, and I'll be introducing to you all in December.
Thank you. Here, just in time for the snow.
Just in time. Just in time to help work on the comp plan, and we went over a bunch of the projects that are coming up, so I think she's going to be able to jump in and be a big help for us.
Good. Anything else, Sharon?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for grabbing me, because I would have. And then we have Public Works and Property, Councilperson Fitzgerald. How's the Market House going?
Well, coming down the home stretch. We hope 2 to 3 more weeks to go. Is there anything you wanted to add on that, or?
Well, one of my most favorite things that's going on right now, and if you want to just snoop like I do and go over there, is you have to see the new floor that's being put in. When they did the demolition, they pulled up all the old bricks from the old floor, and there is a team of bricklayers that are meticulously laying in a herringbone pattern the entire pathway area of the floor, and cutting in the little pieces along the edge and making it all fit, and it looks fantastic. So I'm excited. They're gonna be finishing that probably Thursday or Friday, getting them all in. They will be sanding the bricks all down to clean them all up and make them look even. They're putting a silica sand in between all the bricks to tighten them all up. And we're keeping a skid or two of spare bricks so that anything happened to them, because they're not being cemented in, we can pop them out, put a new one in, and fix it. So it looks great. It just adds a nice historic look to the building. As much as there is some new stuff going on there, I think it honors the old character and look of the old building. So it's looking great. I will say this too, staff will be going through a training here in the next week or so about the building itself, the security system, the power, lights, everything. So we'll be walking through with staff and with the CHI team so that we're all getting trained on how to properly operate the building.
And is the, do you know, is the lease with Gypsy Kitchen?
They haven't they have it. Their attorney's looking at it. They haven't said anything. I'm sure just waiting for them to get it signed. But I will tell you this: that Gypsy Kitchens is starting to negotiate with people to do events coming this winter. So
Good. Let's
And the
get on
Market
it.
Stand leases?
they have them now. They're going through them.
Yeah, there's just, Kelsey just let me know there were a couple of changes that she would like to make, so I'm getting that language over to her. We'll have those finalized within a couple of days, I think.
Okay.
So,
Super.
And one final question, now that we are coming down to the end, I guess the elephant in the room, how are we doing on the rack P?
So we have resubmitted everything back in. The state has 30 days now to go through it, give us back a list of any comments that they have. We had to meet those conditions, and then we'll be getting reimbursed. So it looks like at this point, Kyle, it looks like the money will be coming in 2021's budget at this point.
How, are you able to say at this point without going, I probably should have emailed that I wanted to ask the question.
Sure.
Are you do you know how much we submitted for, like, what is the half?
It's $1,750,000 is the RACP grant amount. The grant, as you can remember, was divided up into two parts.
Right.
So the final amount for the market house would depend upon the last tabulation of all the final change orders and things. So the exact number I don't have, but it's about $880,000 less than the. Is that right, Kyle? So I was born down in Maryland. We're about outside of DC, used to bike in all the time. So we're going to have a little less than half of it is going towards, I think $400,000 less. So 1.2 some million is going towards the market house. The remainder is going towards the parking application when we finally decide exactly what we're doing with the parking piece of it. 1.2.
1.3 million.
That's close.
Just for the market house, the remainder is for parking, whatever that term is.
And that 1.3 for the market house, that's higher than originally?
Well, the original figures, I would say it's actually lower.
Is it?
Originally, they put the entire amount towards the market house.
Oh, okay.
As we work through this grant, kind of get everything broken out, that's when we realized that was far too much.
Okay.
So we're able to split it up, as Mark said, between the two phases. So again, as we get into phase two, the parking, we'll see what that turns into.
So 1.3, then we would be getting reimbursed for approximately 650.
No, the 1.3 is the reimbursement amount from the RACP. The total project cost is much
okay.
more than that.
Okay,
So the market house is 2 point some million
Right,
for the
okay.
renovations. That's just
Yeah, I was
the
confused 'cause
grant
I'm like,
portion
wait a
of that cost. And it's half, but our half includes the valuation of the land and some other things. So we're not putting 1.2 million of
Right.
our money into it in terms of the bond money.
and I know one of the things at the beginning, the issue with the RACP was we, you know, of course, didn't have a deed. So we have obtained the deed now for that property.
Well, about that.
We are still working on
Okay.
that. Yeah, we certainly have, we submitted an opinion of council letter essentially stating that we are very certain that the borough is the owner, that no one is disputing that ownership. With COVID and everything, it was obviously very difficult, couldn't get into courthouses for a long time. But actually, Mark and I just discussed that again yesterday, and I think we may end up in there and get that at some point. It's just gonna take a long time to do that title work, because essentially, what we're gonna have to do is go back probably to when this land was all split out from whatever the parent tract was, and move forward, go all the way back, and then come forward until we find the deed for this.
Are we going to be able to get reimbursed from the state before we have that?
No, well.
Or no?
What we were advised by our the Stantec is the company that's working with the state to evaluate the grant applications. They have received it. It was advice from Stantec to put together the opinion letter of council. This is not the first time this has come up for the state when some of these older boroughs and townships, when these older communities go back into the 1800s, and either our deed could have been lost in the fire, it could have been lost in a number of things. We don't know exactly where it is. So they have accepted in the past an opinion of council with, and it's not just Evan, say it's my opinion. Based on research and history back, we've shown that we have been utilizing the land for a significant amount of time. So we believe that the state will accept that as title. If not, in a worst case scenario, we may have to do a quick action and claim the land through a quiet title action and a quick claim. So we can go through that process if we have to, and then we will get a new deed for the land.
Excited to see it all finished.
Yep.
All right. Safety, Councilperson Burkle.
I have nothing, thank you.
Nothing. All right. Staff reports, comments, and announcements. Evan.
I do not have anything.
Nothing. All right. Derek is not here. Secretary Treasurer.
I do have a few items for you tonight. One, anyone who's been following the news has been hearing that the number of COVID cases is on the increase again. And I just want to encourage everyone here, everyone listening, to just be vigilant and let's not get lazy, let's not get tired. Let's keep moving forward to ensure that we're doing the best that we can to protect ourselves and protect others so we can get through this whole cycle and get back out the other side. I know it's frustrating. I know at times we get a little annoyed having to wear masks, having to social distance, etc. But we need to get this thing beat back so that we can get in front of it again. So I'm just encouraging everyone to stay the course. Let's keep working this through so that we can get on the other side safely. Number two, I just want to give a public thank you to the PA Outdoor Corps. They came in and worked. A slightly smaller group worked for 3 days. We had 4 of the students come out and work at the Columbia Crossings and the River Park. And I was down there a few times where they were there and talking to Hope. And Hope had probably one of the best problems you can have with a team like that. And that was keeping those young people busy. It was amazing the amount of work they can do in such a short period of time. So that the one time I was down there, Hope had flagged Jake down, said, Jake, they've cleaned out the invasive species, they fixed the fence, I have them painting fence posts and signposts now. Can you go now and get me some mulch so I can keep these guys busy? They did such a fantastic job. It's a great problem to have, that you're running around scrambling to keep one step ahead of them to get the work done. And please go out, walk the trail. It looks great. They pruned it back. They beat back some of the brush that the Public Works crew had done earlier in the spring, and it started to overgrow again. They took wheelbarrow loads and mulched the whole trail all the way around. It's a blessing to have that here. When we met with the Columbia River Park Advisory Committee, they are already looking at next year, bringing a team in and having continued the work. So we had a great experience with them. We did the walkthrough this morning for the Shawnee Run project. I'll say it again, I encourage you guys to get down there and look at it. There's a few little last cleanup items. We noticed in the final grading, and it may have been when they were putting in the abutments, that there's a couple low spots, and a few of the rains, there's been some puddles that have formed as low spots. So Kinsey is coming back in. They're going to do a little bit of light regrading, clean things up. We have some other last little cleanup items to do, but it looks great, and we're very excited to wrap this up. Trinity House was out there with us, and they are just excited as can be. I've been down there quite a few times during the construction, and it's nice to see the residents out there just talking about it and very excited about how it looks. So it really came out nice. Just a reminder to everyone, especially the public, if you haven't had a chance yet, on our borough website is a link to the PA 462 bridge project. If you go to PennDOT's website for this project, there is a lot of information there. You can see conceptual drawings, you can see information about it, you can see the timeline and when it's going forward, everything. So I would encourage people that are interested or are concerned or want to keep track of this, bookmark this page, go back to it on a regular basis and keep track of what's going on out there on this project as it begins to move forward, okay? We are continuing to have meetings with PennDOT because of the impact it's going to have to us in the borough. So we'll keep everyone informed as that moves forward. Had a great find. I just wanted to let council know. I'll be sending you guys a link soon. I've been trying to do some more research. Heather needed more big words in the HARB description, so I'm trying to.
No, I said less.
I get that backwards again. I'm sorry. I apologize. So I'm trying to find the original survey data, and what this looks like is a 2 to 3 page information sheet on every property in the borough when we designated it a historic district. So I reached out to the Pennsylvania Historic Museum Commission and got a hold of a person there, and long story short, she sent me a link. All the information has been scanned in, uploaded into a GIS database, and when you go there, you can pull and look up all the historic information, including some background history and stories on all of our properties. This is the very data I've been looking for. It's all right there. We now have access to all of it. So we are working now to get all of this downloaded. We're trying to get the information converted. And all of you now have access to the CS Datum website, the database, I should say. That information eventually will be uploaded into there so that you'll be able to see not just the boundaries of the historic district, which is there now, but in addition, some background information such as the age of the house, some of the history on each house. And so we're going to get all that uploaded into the system so we can now have access to it. It just, true confessions, I got it Friday around 3:30. I was finishing up some work. I started around 4:30, opened it up. I looked up a few minutes later, it was about 5 of 6. I'm still sitting in the office going through all this stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get home. It's just fascinating information to read. One of the documents that's on there includes the original information that was put together to even establish the district. And it has just some incredible history of the town and how it was formed and some of the key people who were around in the beginning, and just fantastic information to read and learn from. So it's fun. I'll send you guys a link to it. Enjoy. Get a cup of tea, sit down, look at it, and just go through it. It's just fascinating reading to have. And I'm just glad that we have that. 2 last quick reminders. One, this is probably more for me than for you guys. This Saturday night is daylight savings time, comes to an end. Sunday morning, we go back into standard time. So remember to turn your clocks back this Saturday. And next week, Tuesday on November 3rd is Election Day. I don't want to take away Eric's passion plea during our weekly update. It was fantastic. We want to encourage everybody to vote, but for Election Day, the borough offices are closed, so we will be closed on Tuesday, the 3rd. And that's it. Thank you.
In the packets, you have the meeting minutes for the Civil Service Commission, the Planning Commission, Columbia River Park Advisory Board. Upcoming meeting is Zoning Hearing Board, which is tomorrow evening. Council comments. Round table. We'll start down there. Yep.
I wanted to ask a question of either Mark or Evan or both. Is it possible for a borough to ever go to a referendum kind of thing where if we were considering contemplating a big ticket item where it would go to the public for vote rather than just council deciding that?
I believe that there is a referendum process. I've never seen it used in Pennsylvania on something like that. Normally that process, the referendum is for if a borough or other municipality wants to annex land. That's specifically written into the statute, but I don't, honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head whether there is a referendum process in general. I'm honestly not sure that there is. It's not quite like California where, where they can put everything to a referendum vote. I believe, now that I think about it a little bit more as I'm talking, I think they're probably not, in my opinion. I can certainly look at that, but I don't believe that there is a process like that. I think that's, Pennsylvania's kind of gotten to the point where that's why we elect the council members to act in the best interest of everybody. So.
Right, and the reason I'm asking is simply because sometimes it comes down to just a few, even less than 7, that end up making a decision to move forward on something that the taxpayers are going to be paying for decades. That's why I'm just asking. Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? I wanted to quickly piggyback on Mark's thing about the election day. I believe we did post the polling place list on our website, but just for the people that are watching, if you are in the 5th ward, which prior to the primary voted at St. Peter's Apartments, at the primary you voted at Park School. For the general election, you are going to be voting up here at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. That was officially approved this month, just a few weeks ago at the election board meeting.
340 Locust.
Yes, 340 Locust Street, and that's for the 5th ward. And if you have questions about where your polling place is, you could go on to the Lancaster County Election Board website, and they have a link that you can find out where your polling place is. But get out and vote. We all need to vote, if you're registered. Announcement of next meetings. At the adjournment of the session this evening, council will adjourn to an executive session to discuss the purchase of the McGinnis property. Beyond that, at 7 p.m. on November 5th, council will hold a work session here in this room. And that brings us to the end. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, and a second.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilperson Kaufman, a second by Councilperson Littner, to adjourn the meeting at 7:58 p.m. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? And that's a wrap, folks. You're all blown away.